Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
DJ Angelo.
You're rocking with the best, the best, the best.
I'm the hottest round with the crazy style.
Hey guys, it's DJ Angelo again. Welcome to Turntable tutorial number 7. Today I'm going to show you another classic scratch technique which is really important for all turntablists to master, and it's called the transformer scratch. The transformer scratch was originally pioneered in the late 80s by DJ Spinbad from New York and also DJs Jazzy Jeff and Cash Money from Philadelphia. These guys really pushed the art form forward by introducing this technique, and it's pretty hard to imagine turntablism without it today. The transformer scratch requires a good level of coordination between your record hand and your mixer hand. All of the movements involved will be familiar to you if you've already been following the first 6 of my tutorials. Okay, to start off, I'd recommend that you use a fairly long sound to scratch with, preferably something that lasts at least half a rotation of your record. Today I'm using one of the most commonly used sounds in turntablism, and you can find this sound on pretty much every scratch tool out there. This particular record I'm using is called Super Seal by DJ Qbert. The transformer scratch can be performed with either the crossfader or the channel fader, but as it's more beneficial to use the crossfader, I'm going to concentrate on this today. Okay, so the principle behind the transformer scratch is to use the crossfader to chop up this long sound into smaller pieces, creating a rhythmic stuttering effect. Transforming can be applied as the sound plays forward and also as the sound is pulled backwards. So the job of your record hand is to simply keep this sound repeating over and over again, either with baby scratches or with drops. Okay, so that's the motion of our record hand. Moving on to our mixer hand, we're going to operate the crossfader in the same way we did for stabs, which was covered in the previous tutorial. As a recap, our thumb gently presses against the crossfader and our fingers are going to gently tap against the crossfader, which pops the crossfader open, and if our record is moving at the same time, this will allow the sound to escape in short bursts to produce that stuttering effect that we're trying to achieve. Of course, every scratch technique needs to be done with control, so here's the first pattern that I want you to try. We're going to do 3 taps of the crossfader as the sound plays forward and 3 taps of the crossfader as the sound is pulled backwards. As usual, the record needs to be queued up to the start of your sound, and the crossfader needs to be in the closed position. For this first pattern, we're going to leave the turntable motor off so the platter is not spinning. Okay, so for the first part of the pattern, gently push the record forward and at the same time apply 3 taps to the crossfader. Remember to make sure that your thumb springs the crossfader back to the closed position after every tap. The second part of the pattern, we're going to do 3 taps again on the crossfader, but this time pull the record backwards. Okay, that pattern again, 3 taps forward and 3 taps backwards. Once you've got the hang of that, try and do both parts together without the gap in the middle to create more of a rolling rhythmic effect. That's just one of many scratch patterns that can be done with transforming. The transformer scratch, in fact, probably offers the most variation than any other scratch technique. The general rule is that every tap of the crossfader equals 1 sound from the record, and that is pretty much the only rule when it comes to transforming. Everything else is down to your interpretation and style. The factors that may affect how your transforming sounds are the number of times you tap the crossfader, how close or how far apart your taps are, how long you leave the crossfader open after each tap, and of course you can do all of these techniques with either the motor off or the motor on. So all of these factors combined allow you to create interesting and varied transformer patterns. So if we take our previous pattern of 3 taps going forward and 3 taps going backwards, this same pattern can be done in so many different ways. For example, another example, and another one, so the point I'm trying to make is that there's no set way to do the transformer scratch. Just do whatever feels right and whatever sounds good to you. And of course, with every scratch technique, concentrate on being rhythmic and in time with whatever music you scratch over. To give you some more ideas, I'm going to show you 4 more transformer patterns and 4 different ways of doing each pattern. Remember, these are just examples, so don't be afraid to experiment and do things in your own way. As an extra tip, you may want to pitch your turntable down to the slowest setting to allow you more time to apply the chops to your sound. That's it for today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial, and that's pretty much all I can show you about the transformer scratch. Like I said, the rest is down to you experimenting and finding your own style, so best of luck with that. Thanks again to everyone who's subscribing and supporting what I'm doing. As long as you're enjoying these tutorials, I'll continue to make them, so thanks to everyone who's watching, and I'll be back soon with another tutorial. Peace.